y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be sharing a super simple and a super short recipe. I went to Starbucks the other day and they were advertising some sort of caramel frappuccino, and to be completely honest, it looked pretty darn good. But considering it has like 100 grams of carbs or some ridiculous amount of sugar in it, like I would never drink that ever, because I cannot bear the thought of putting that many carbs in my body in literally one drink. But ever since I left Starbucks that day, I've been like thinking in my mind, like, I bet I could make a caramel frappuccino that's keto friendly and that tastes just as good, if not better, than the Starbucks caramel frappuccino. So today we will be making a keto-friendly caramel frappuccino that would knock the socks off a Starbucks frappuccino. So this is actually a pretty simple recipe, but it has a big, tasty payoff. So it's just a couple of ingredients, so let's get started. Making a frappuccino, and it's gonna taste so good, I can't sing. For this recipe, you're gonna need some cooled coffee. I made this a little while ago, and it is nice and cool and ready to go in our frappe. Some heavy cream, a few ice cubes, some vanilla extract, some xanthan gum that will act as a thickener in our frappuccino. And then the last ingredient is where you can kind of customize this recipe to make it whatever flavor you want. I want mine to be a caramel frappuccino, so I am going to be using this caramel honest syrup by Chalk Zero. I'm gonna use that caramel syrup, but feel free to use whatever sugar-free syrup that you have on hand. So let's go ahead and throw together this frappuccino. It just takes a minute or two and you have a delicious coffee drink ready to go. For this recipe, I am using a nutribullet. It just makes it so much more simple to clean because all I have to clean are these two things than my entire blender. So just going to use this and it'll make our keto frappuccino. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is measure out a cup of my chilled coffee. And I am just pouring all of this straight into my little blender bottle thing. I don't know what this is called. What I'm going to blend this all up in. Up next, I am going to measure out 3 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. You can adjust the amount of heavy whipping cream to your liking. I just want this to be a super rich and creamy frappuccino, so it imitates that Starbucks frappuccino. So I chose to use 3 tablespoons of heavy whipping cream. Up next, I'm just going to add in a capful of my vanilla extract. Just dump that right in. Up next, I'm going to add in 1/4 of a teaspoon of xanthan gum. Make sure you do not use too much because a tiny bit of xanthan gum goes a very long way. Now I'm going to go ahead and add about 1 tablespoon of my caramel syrup. I'm just going to add that right in there. And the very last step before we blend this, we're gonna throw in 6 to 8 ice cubes. All right, we've added all of our ingredients. So now I'm just going to screw on the top of my little nutribullet thing and we're gonna blend it up. All right, I just blended this for about 30 seconds. I like to blend it a little bit longer than needed because it allows that xanthan gum to really thicken it up. All right, so I have my little reusable Starbucks cup that I'm going to put my frappuccino in because I felt like it was super fitting for this occasion. But I always get asked about this cup. They sell them at Starbucks. They are the reusable Starbucks cups because I know someone was gonna ask me about it. So they sell them at Starbucks. They're a couple bucks each. But back to the star of the show, we're going to dump in our Frappuccino into our Starbucks cup. Ooh. All right, let's give her a taste test. That is thick and creamy and delicious and totally satisfies that craving I have for that Starbucks sugar-loaded caramel Frappuccino. Well guys, I hope that you enjoyed this super simple recipe for a keto-friendly caramel Frappuccino. I have to say it is pretty darn tasty and just as good as the real thing. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel down below. If you make a recreation of this recipe, be sure to tag me in a post on Instagram. And I will see y'all again real soon with another video. Bye guys! Mwah!